Teamwork works here. Get organized, stay on track, and celebrate.
Hey guys, this is Spanky Hayes, and I want to say something, whether it's comedy, acting, or just in general real life. I use my A game. I gotta have the A game. I pack it in every pocket. I got one pill in every pocket, and every pair of pants I got. Listen, entertaining y'all is hard sometimes. I gotta fly to Dallas, then to Denver, then to New York, then to LA, then to Detroit. Come on, man. That tires me out. I just take the A game now. I don't have that problem no more. I usually barely don't sleep because I'm entertaining y'all. I'm in the studio all night with the A game. And trust me, when I come home from the studio, my woman gets to feel the real pleasure of the A game. You see, I'm smiling. Watch this. Hey, baby.
Hey, babe.
Guess what I just took?
What?
A game, A game, A game, A game. I'm gonna meet you upstairs, all right?
Oh, okay.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back in with Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform, man. Much love. Much love. Salute to everybody that's in the building. Salute to everybody that's in the building. If you in here, hit the like button for me, man. Hit the like button for me. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this show. Make sure you share this show. After you hit the like button, make sure you share this show. After you hit the like button, please share this show. It's very important that you share the show. Share it on your community tab, your Discord server, Instagram, anywhere that you share videos. It's very much appreciated. Make sure you share this video. This is your first time here. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content, every time I'm live right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV, man. So make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you also financially support the show. Make sure you financially support the show. You could do so by going to CashApp $ Sheep Stay Sleep TV. If you have CashApp, just go to your CashApp and type in $ Sheep Stay Sleep TV, one word on CashApp. If you need that at any time during the show, look in your top left-hand corner. That's where you can go. All other donation links will be in the chat room. If you got any questions, any comments, and you would like me to acknowledge them, put it through with your super chat, and I will do so. Shout out to the masculine mercenaries, man. Shout out to everybody who support me and who support this platform, man. Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I appreciate all the love and the support. And we back with another show today, man. Like I said, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share this stream, man. Y'all see the title of today's show. And I want to speak on the situation that happened in Chicago with the 7-year-old girl being murdered and her dad also getting shot up at the same time. You know, it's a tragic story, very tragic. You know, it may not be, you know, a new thing that goes on in Chicago, but it's just crazy that that situation happened the way it happened, and it happened in broad day the way it did. You know, I'm pretty sure the people at McDonald's that worked there is traumatized, man. They probably never gonna forget that. You know, so definitely, rest in peace to that baby girl, man. It's crazy. It really is. And I wanted to speak on this today because it speaks to a bigger problem that we have going on in today's society, going on with men. And this problem that you see, this war, these wars that you see continually going on amongst black men, you know, because we have, you know, in New York, we have our own version of Chicago drill rap. And not only, I can't even say Chicago drill rap, I have to say Chicago drill culture. We have our own version in New York where dudes is rapping about getting at their ops, shooting their ops, you know, basically just rapping about hurting other black men, right? This is part of the culture. It's spread it out to New York, where now you have, and I spoke on this before, where you have the Wu and the Cho beef, which is Crips, Bloods, BDs, and GDs that's at war with each other. So what we have to understand is these initial organizations that these young men are a part of were not started, or let me say they weren't intended to be self-destructive to the black community. And the proof of these organizations not being started to be destructive to the black community was the fact that a lot of these, I can't even say a lot of them, all of them were infiltrated by the feds. And initially, my bad, y'all. But these organizations were infiltrated and taken over by the feds, and initially were pretty much taken down. So that proves that these organizations were not intended to do what we see them doing now. What's going on now is these guys not being taught the significance of S.O.S. What is S.O.S? S.O.S is systems, orders, and structure. You see, if you go back and you look at the stories of the older gentlemen who were a part of these organizations, there was a structure, there was a system, a value system attached to their organization, which gave them order and structure, hence S.O.S. You see? This is how you get SOS. You have to have a value system connected to what you're trying to organize. You must have certain things, certain principles and morals that your actions is rooted in. So the organizations back then, their values were much higher. The men practiced higher values and they had a higher way of thinking and seeing each other and seeing the community. This is why they organized in the way that they did. This is why the structure was the way that it was. And this is why, you know, they were infiltrated and taken down. And while those leaders of these organizations were in prison and those children were left to fend for themselves and figure out things and be told how to live by the people who were out there and the people who were also misled, the value system was reversed. What they were taught initially was now thrown out the window. They learned a whole new way of living. Things just dramatically changed. And it was because the people values changed, because the people begin to devalue themselves. Because a lot of those leaders that were there were were the people's inspiration. So when a lot of those guys went down and they went to federal penitentiaries, a lot of the people in the neighborhoods fought, they fell. They fell. They fell. And when those figureheads fell, the structure first, before structure, order was destroyed because the top guys were taken out. So that messed up the order of things. So that messed up the chain of command. That messed up how things were communicated down the ranks of things. So things became chaotic because there was no order. Because those leaders were no longer there. You see? Now you got the blind leading the blind. And this is how the music went from guys like Common and guys like GLC. You know what I'm saying? It went from guys like Jay Dilla. It went from guys like that to the drill rap. See, if you listen to them, you see where the values were switched. See, because you got to remember, art imitates life. So dudes is only rapping about, well, I can't say dudes, most dudes. I'm gonna say the drill rappers, for the most part, a lot of them, they're rapping about their life. So you can see what they value. They value, you know, getting at people and, you know, doing a lot of low-level degenerative stuff. And that is because that is what their life represented. So that's what they rapped about. But if you look at Common in them, they didn't rap about that, because that's not what their life represented. And being in those organizations, you didn't represent op hunting. You didn't represent spinning blocks and you that's not what that represented. That's not what none of those organizations represented. You see, each organization had SOS. They had a system, they had order, and they had structure. Y'all have to understand this. See, because a lot of y'all sit back and y'all talk about, man, Chicago was crazy. Chicago, Chicago, Chicago. But y'all don't understand why things are the way that they are. See, what happened to that little girl the other day is an example of these are the results. These are the dangers of not having SOS. Your children is left to be killed at any time. These are the results of not having SOS, where you'll have a grown man who knows he has ops in the streets, who's a rapper, because dude was actually a rapper. That was crazy too when I found out that dude was actually a rapper who rapped about and did videos disrespecting his ops. See, this is something that is a result of not having SOS. This is a result of your value system being replaced with bullshit constantly. And it's reinforced through the music, and they reinforce it through the music. So generations to come will continue to promote this shit. And this is why that little girl was murdered. She was murdered because she had a father who didn't understand the importance of SOS and didn't employ it. That's why his daughter got murdered and he almost died. Because he actually thought it was a game. He actually thought them dudes was playing with him. He actually thought that he can get away with doing that type of shit. This is what happens. This is why you see the things that you see going on in Chicago and all other places, man. This is why. Because there's no SOS. The dudes who establish SOS in these organizations, a lot of them are dead and a lot of them are political prisoners. Larry Hoover, Jeff Ford. These guys are political prisoners, man. When these guys were in the streets, all you got to do is do the research. Go to my Black History Month series of 2017 and check out my dissertation I did on Larry Hoover. The growth and developed nation was something totally different than what you hear these young men rapping about when they throwing up GD. It was something totally different. But when them dudes went to prison, there was no more SOS. Shout out to Cool Rob. I appreciate you. He said my support for the channel. Salute, Cool Rob. I appreciate it. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all share the stream and like the stream. But this little girl being murdered, man, is an example of no SOS, no systems, orders, and structure. This is why whenever you hear dudes talk about back in the day, they say it was more structured. And it was more structured because the men structured things based on a value system. And this is a value system of high value, not promoting high value man. but being men of high value. If you check out my dissertation I did on Larry Hoover, I spoke on how he made people from the projects go vote. He bought buses and all that to the neighborhoods. See, the value system was different. Grassroots was something that was employed and it was embedded into the psychology behind the organization. This is why you had guys like Huey P. Newton, who were scholars that were in the Black Panthers. This is why you had guys like Mutulu Shakur, who was an acupuncturist, who was a damn scientist. Because it was embedded into the psychology behind what they do. It was embedded into their value system. That is the first S, system, your value system. Because you can have a system of chaos like we have in this country. You can have a system of chaos. You can value chaos. You can value destruction. You can value mayhem. And this is what has been taught to the youth to value. They were taught to value spinning the block. You got to get your get back. That was valued. That is valued. We don't care who outside. That is what's valued. See, that wasn't valued back then. There was a penalty for that. There was a penalty when a child was mistakenly hit. A woman was killed. There was penalties for that. Because certain things were outlawed. There were certain things you were not allowed to do. Because of what? Order. See? And you violate order when you violate a code, when you violate one of the laws or one of the values that we rest upon. That's when you violate. So you get disciplined. You get suspended. You get excommunicated. But all of that stuff was done away with over time due to our replacement of our values. No regard for human life, long as we make money. See, these are the things that took over and became the psychology, behind the men who was in these organizations. This is why the young men over time got more and more violent, and we didn't care about making money. You see? We went from a system of growth and development to a system of chaos. This is why you'll even have today, when a dude see his ops, he don't care if his children is with him. He'll kill him and his child. And this is what you see today. You always hear the stories of dudes getting a pass when they were with their kids, because that's just what it was. We all saw Scarface. That's what got Scarface killed. What got Scarface killed was him actually having some integrity and not willing to kill women and children. That's what got him killed. That's what got him killed. So that shows you how important a value system is. It shows you. And it shows you how other people value other things. See, because Sosa didn't care about valuing the life of those children and the other people who were in that car. He didn't care about none of that. He didn't value that. What he valued was his freedom all overall. You see? And today, that is the mindset of a lot of people. That is the mindset of these young dudes in the neighborhoods and running these streets. They don't value human life. Y'all give me a second. Okay, I'm back. But that's what you see today. You see a lack of regard for human life. No one cares about family anymore. Nobody. This is what happens when there was no longer a presence of S.O.S. This is what you're going to have. Look at how we just saw the young girl get murdered, the 16-year-old girl that just got killed by the cop. This is a result of no S.O.S. Her parents did not employ S.O.S. Systems, order, and structure. This is why that girl was outside fighting, trying to stab somebody. Out of control and trying to do it in front of the police. Out of order. And she's out of order because what? She has a messed up value system. See, this is how chaos ensues when you choose to value chaos, disorder, confrontation, conflict. See, when you value all of these negative things, it's only a matter of time before a situation arises. It's only a certain amount of time before a violent event occurs. You see? Because you value chaos and debauchery, and the people you around value chaos and debauchery, and y'all all walk around with that mindset, and that's what y'all promote. So y'all are walking in that energy. So something is going to happen. You just don't know when it's going to happen, but it's bound to happen. And this is what we saw with this young man and his daughter at the McDonald's drive-thru. This dude did a rap video disrespecting his ops, right? And they caught him at McDonald's. And they shot the car. They ran up on the car and just shot the car. They didn't care who was in the car. They just shot the car because they know he was in it. You see? And why did he do this? He did this because what? Making diss tracks and dissing your ops makes money. It's part of making music now. It's a genre of rap. Drill rap is you talking about people you killed or people you want to kill. That is a new form of music. So by being a genre of music, it is telling young men and young women that it is okay for you to not value not only your life, but the life of other people. This is an example of having no SOS. This is a result of not having any SOS. Now the culture tells young black men and women, you don't gotta what? If they don't rep your gang, they don't deserve to be alive. And they need to die today. Matter of fact, right now. That's what it's telling them. So we have to understand the importance of employing SOS. The men must establish SOS. We must do this. This is why it's important. Because no man who has any slight clue of SOS, knowing what he did already, would even go to McDonald's with his child. Why would he go to McDonald's with his child? What, he thought he was going to get away? Why would he ever think that? See, he would always know that at any time he's in danger if he understood SOS. You see? But him not understanding it and understanding the importance of it, he got his child murdered. He got his child murdered. It's because of him. And he's going to live to see his mistake. He's going to have to live with that because he's not dead. He's never going to be able to bring his daughter back because he didn't employ system, order, and structure in his own life first. See? He didn't establish it in his own life first. This is why he was out here doing the foolish things he was doing. And he thought that it wouldn't catch up with him. It's important, men, that we understand the dangers of not having SOS in our life. We have to understand the dangers of not employing this, man. This story, this tragic story is an example of it. He thought, oh, I'm just a rapper. It's just a song. It's just, I'm rapping. He got his daughter killed for that. Not valuing family. See that? That is the third life value of the 10 life value system. See? So when you hear me talk about the 10 life values, understand that the 10 life values is a system. S.O.S, systems, order, and structure. See? So he was standing on all of the wrong values. I'm just trying to get money. I'm gonna just make this song so hopefully I could go viral. You know, do it the Chief Keef route. Not understanding that that route is played out, man. And that lane is saturated with rappers. But he did it hoping he'll get some traction. And it costed him his daughter's life, man. Following this wicked system that we call white supremacy. We got to understand that that system and the values that come with that system is no longer going to be beneficial to us, man. That system and the values that that system is built upon is no longer beneficial to us. It never was. And it's really time for us to wake up and see that. We have to replace our values back with positive, progressive, uplifting things. And we have to go back to promoting it. So when you hear me constantly bang at those internal 5 life values, that's because I'm promoting healing. Because that is where you heal in your life, in the internal 5 of the 10 life values, which is your spiritual, your health, your family, your appearance, and your dwelling value. You understand? And that is what men are supposed to do. That is what we're supposed to teach as men. That is how we construct our family with S.O.S, with a value system. Your children learn to respect you or know to respect you because you teach them the value of respect. You see? Not only do you teach them by telling them, but you teach them by showing them. And you show them by respecting other people, them seeing you getting respect, by you respecting them as your child, and them in return respecting you. You see? And all of those things in return develops who you are personally. This is how you raise a child. But these children today were raised on bad values. They were raised with bad values. They were taught to value all of the wrong things, all of the things that are detrimental to them. You see? Now, if this dude had any S.O.S, he would have been smart enough, for one, to not take his daughter because he know he got beef, but would have been smarter was he left his daughter at home. He went to the supermarket and went home and cooked his daughter something to eat. See, because he wanted to go and get his daughter something to eat, but not only is he putting her at danger physically from, bodily harm being the fact that he got ops, but also health-wise. With her being in McDonald's all the time. He probably was the kind of dude that always take his daughter to McDonald's. You see? So that also shows you what he values too. So in a lot of ways, that situation could have been prevented if SOS was employed in some form or fashion in that young man's life. If he would have had any inkling of SOS, he could have made so many different decisions to not be there. And definitely he would have knew to leave his daughter at home. He would have definitely knew that, overall anything. Shout out to Hills Zen. Appreciate you, family. If anything, he knew that. But this is all due to the lack of SOS. These are the dangers, man. Like I said, we just saw it again with the 16-year-old being killed by the cops. By the cop, rather. Due to what? The lack of SOS. The fact that she don't know how to act in front of authority figures. That's because she's out of order. See, we have to stop making excuses for why situations happen to us when, as grown-ups, we're supposed to be able to look at a situation objectively and judge it that way. Now, we could talk about the what ifs and all of that shit, but let's deal with the facts. Let's deal with what we actually saw, what actually happened. And it's a sad situation, but this is what happens. These are the dangers of not having SOS. You will have a lot more of our children out in the streets being killed because without SOS, you cannot provide proper protection for your children. Let me repeat that. Without the implementation of SOS, as a man, you cannot properly provide protection for your children. And you have to understand this. You have to understand this. You cannot do it. Because the way protection is built upon is you have to establish order. You have to establish order. You can't protect in the midst of chaos. And the way a man establishes order and protection for his family is first, they must first obey what he says. First thing, if a man's word is not seen as law, then what he tries to implement physically won't ever work. You see? So it goes back to a value system. And if a man teaches the proper value system, In return, there'll be some order. In return, you'll have some order in your own life as a man. A lot of us don't know what we want to do simply because we're just disorganized. We don't have any order. That's really what it is. If we was to just organize our life, then we could see, well, damn, okay, well, I always wanted to do this. Oh, okay, that's why I'm good at this, that, and the third. Then you'll be able to get a clearer picture on what it is you may want to do. Because now you have a clearer perspective on who you are. You see? So, fellas, you have to do this for yourself first before you even have children. Before you have children, you got to establish SOS in your own life. Because if not, you don't want to be like one of those dads that would just happen to his daughter and him. Because they shot him up too. He just didn't die. See, brothers, you don't want to be a man like that. He was easily able to get tagged like that and to get his daughter killed because he didn't have any SOS, man. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. And the reason why the gangs and all of the stuff that you see going on is because the organizations don't have any more SOS. And see, the feds and these government agencies know that that's how it works. That's why they make sure, that's why they started all of the RICO laws and all of that shit. That's so they can get the ringleaders, the heads. Because they know when the brains is not around and people don't know how to practically solve problems and know how to organize people and keep things in the right perspective, they know that the value system can easily be changed. Because they understand that the chairman, guys like Jeff Fort, guys like Larry Hoover, they knew that the chair people, the guys who was at the top were the ones who established the value system, which was put into the psychology of the organizations and which the lower rank of bosses taught the street dudes. This is how you operate. This is how you wear your clothes. This is how you salute each other. This is how you greet each other. Code of conduct, all of that. See, all of that stuff is established with SOS. Systems, order, and structure. You have a code of conduct to do what? To keep order. To keep order. And you want to keep order to do what? To maintain a proper structure so we can get to our goal. You see? And you have to understand that no one man is bigger than order. Shout out to the bishop. I appreciate you, bro. He said you was teaching my brother. SOS. Salute, bro. Shout out to the masculine mercenaries. No one man is bigger than order. No one man is bigger than order. See, because no man is beyond reproach. And see, when you don't understand SOS, you don't understand what I just said. And that dude who was in that drive-thru with his daughter sitting in the car with him, knowing he got ops, knowing he got beef, and dudes is looking for him because what he did in his rap video. He didn't understand what I just said. Sincere cracking up. I don't answer questions that's not in the super chat. Put it through with your super chat. It's just a sad situation, man. And I just wanted to come and speak on this, man, because I just wanted to delve much deeper into the concept of SOS. And how serious it is, and how men need to take it much more serious and stop playing with it and stop thinking other men are playing with SOS. Because it's not something to be played with. Not at all. Not at all. So shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the show, man. Make sure you share the show. Make sure you share the show. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Shout out to everybody that has tuned in. Shout out to everybody that donated. I appreciate it. Donated through the super chat. If you hit the Cash App, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the love and the support. Shout out to the masculine mercenaries once again. Shout out to everybody who supports Sheep Stay Sleep TV and me, the host DS1 Ross. And as y'all know, man, this episode of Sheep Stay Sleep TV has been sponsored by A-Game. A-Game, a herbal male solution. A herbal male solution. Fellas, get down in the description box and hit the link for the A-Game. Join this A-Game lifestyle, man. This is a lifestyle of high vitality, high libido, high energy, high and healthy strength. So hit the link in the description box. Join this A-Game lifestyle, man. At your checkout, type in promo code SHEEP in the number 10. That's SHEEP in the number 10 to get a discount off on your purchase. I appreciate y'all once again for tuning in. Much love to y'all. I'm your host, DS1 Ross of Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And remember, brothers, we are our own agency. We are our own agency. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
For over 2 decades, we focused on one philosophy, the 10 life values. A system that helps us examine our lives, our vision, our leadership. Our products and our services are exclusively for men, all men. The ones who teach and mentor our kids, maintain our livestock and grow our food, make and repair our products, saves us from catastrophe, and protect our nation. The 10 life values are woven into every product and service we create. Because at the end of the day, Our vision is to see all men from every community equipped with the appropriate processes and the necessary tools to be excellent fathers and the best version of themselves they can be.